Theo Marks coming to you from the Sachem Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy, CJ, and Joe, the Shield of Wrestling podcast. Three casuals turned Marks wrestling fans to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. Enter the ring at your own risk. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Because
it's Rusev Day!
Hello, I am one of your podcast hosts, Jimmy. I am joined by Joe.
Yep, right back here in the studio, and we have Jared here with us, who has missed so much in the last few months. I mean, was it pre-Mania at this point, or post-Mania maybe?
Yeah, it was Mania.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, good. You're in for a treat.
Yeah, it's
you're
good
in
to
for
be
a
here.
real treat. It's probably going to be one of the mellow ones. Unfortunately, CJ could not be here. We're sorry. He had a very important thing for work to do. So
We have the word important in here.
Yeah, I'm the replacement.
just for now. But I think all
Downgrade,
four of
maybe.
us are going to be here for next week for Money in the Bank predictions. So that'll be good. But for this week, I figured because Joe hasn't been here for quite a while, and neither has Jared, that we would talk about some old stuff first before we get into the newer stuff. And then after all the news stuff, we have a pre-recorded thing that me, CJ, and Joe talked about a couple weeks ago that I figured, why not? Let's talk about that. But let's talk about old news stuff. What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, there was something I mentioned in the group chat. I guess we can start with
Yeah,
whatever the hell's going on with Nia Jax at the moment.
Yeah, let's... oh, boy. Where do we want to start with that? Joe?
Bullies never win if you listen to her extremely canned promo at the end of her Backlash match. So why is she acting like one now?
I don't know.
She
because-
called Ronda cute, and not in like the the way we say it.
Hey, she's cute, right? No, not that type
You're
of
cute. You're
Right?
cute. I'm
No.
like, what is this?
She's Rousey's getting a push.
Alexa was right.
Early.
Alexa was right. At this point, that's it. The moments of bliss were actually 100% true.
All
I'm
right,
buying
so in your opinion, what's going to happen at Money in the Bank?
I think it's
What's-
gonna be it's gonna be smoshy. There's gonna be something going on. There's
I
no way Ronda's gonna win.
I think Ronda wins and there's a cash in.
No.
All of
would
that. All of that.
That'd be terrible.
Well, I'm telling you right now that's not going to happen, and because spoiler alert, Ronda is facing Nia Jax at the WWE live show for the title.
Yeah, but those things
So-
change all the time.
But I doubt there'll be a cash in. I highly
There was
doubt
a
there'll be
Jinder
cash-in.
Mahal United States Championship match planned for a house show when he had already lost the title to Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, it's
so
Jinder Mahal. He's,
Oh boy.
it's just,
my gut would tell me that this feud's probably gonna last 2 SummerSlam. Like I'm gonna guess that Rousey's probably gonna get offensive and is gonna like get her arm and oh my god, how's she doing it? And then Nia's gonna spit on her or something. I don't know.
You're more painted into a corner than you are with Roman and Brock at Greatest Royal Rumble at this point. You're so Nia. You don't want Nia to lose because she just won. Ronda can't lose because she's Ronda. And
Well, that's why I think there's gonna be a smaz. I mean, I think that
swear to God, if there's a screw job,
it's not
it's
so
over.
much as
Cancel the network.
it's not gonna be so much a screw job as it is someone, whether that's gonna be Natalia or something like that. Because there's just
If she puts,
They were kind
she's
of
gonna
putting-
put Ronda in the armbar, and they're gonna like do a screw job finish, and then like you'll see the ref get up and go, huh, and I'm shutting it off.
So in your opinion, Rousey's gonna win, and then Natalia, I guess, is gonna.
I think it's gonna
cash in?
be. No, I don't think Natalia is gonna be Money in the Bank winner. I think that she is going to cost Ronda the match, or at least cost her the title. I don't know about the match. But
Well,
it's gonna
we
cost
know.
her the title.
I'm pretty sure the women's Money in the Bank match is gonna come first. So
Yes.
the result of that match will probably give a great amount of insight into what's gonna happen in the,
Yeah,
end of the
me and
women's title match.
Me and CJ talked about this last week. That one's hard to really pinpoint exactly who. With the men, it's a little different. You can kind of make.
I have a
guess of
pretty
who.
good idea who it's gonna be for the men.
But for the women, it's tough because there's 3 that we really would rather see have the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then there's 2 that are like, what are they doing here? And then the other ones are like, oh, that's gonna be fun.
Well, because it's tough. Because usually Money in the Bank has to do with like people that they're not very offensive in the ring. They don't have such aggressive booking. So it's like for me, like I pretty much feel as though Charlotte's like out for me.
Yeah,
because
I
like
agree.
or like or even Becky, because they're maybe Becky, but she never
I
gets
feel
a
like
push.
a heel might end up having to win. I feel like
Could
a
be.
heel is kind of a.
Who are the 6 for who?
I
Oh, it's not
disagree.
6. It's 8 for the 8 for the
I
women.
disagree that it's not going to be a heel because if what we're thinking the men are going to win, who's going to win for the men? It has to be a face.
You'd think.
But
I feel like Money in the Bank just helps sit in with a heel gimmick so much better.
True.
It does. I think it's less. I think it's just more
But-
for like people that can't just like win the WWE title like on the like it's for like smaller
Wasn't
people.
the
You know.
last face to cash in the wasn't it Ambrose? I think was the last one to win it as a babyface.
Yes, and then I think
Which
before that,
actually was pretty recent, but before that, I feel like it could have been.
I think it was Ziggler, the last one.
No,
that did.
Ziggler
He was a
when
heel.
he
It's just
won it.
everyone wanted it.
I can't even remember.
Rollins was a heel too on 31,
Rollins was a heel,
but
he
everyone
was-
just wanted it.
I know going way back. I know Punk was
And
a
then
face for one of them.
And then Cena was the only one, but he never successfully cashed that in.
No, he bombed it,
Corbin was a heel.
and that was
Carmella's
he
a
didn't even
heel.
cash in.
Carmella's a heel. Yep. So.
I think if
Mella
it's
is
gonna,
money.
and then I think the only other one was Punk when he first won it.
Yeah, when Punk cashed in on Edge when he won the first time, he was a face.
When was that? Like 10 years ago or something like
Yeah,
that?
that was like the
2008, I think it
third.
was.
It was like the third or fourth.
I
Yeah.
think that was
like
like the
8 years ago.
WrestleMania like 24 season or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was. It's been. Well, Bobby Lashley is gonna win at some point, so
He's gonna squash Zayn. Spoiler alert.
Well, we just talked about Punk, and I guess that's like a good segue to what just happened in the past 2 weeks with the CM Punk, Cabana, and Dr. trial that just happened. The right person won. Cabana and Punk won
Yeah.
their trial. Did you guys hear what the doctor was seeking for? He was seeking $1 per download for the original podcast. That's 3.9 million downloads. He was
Oh my
getting
God.
$3.9 million, and that's just punitive damages.
Oh my God.
well, I mean, if I tell you I'm hurt and you say you're fine, and I end up with a year-long staph infection, I probably
that-
shouldn't be giving you anything.
Yeah, I mean, the doctor had legitimately no case. The last time me and CJ talked about this, I tried to make it as fair as point as I could possibly be, but there was no possible way. The doctor was gonna lose.
In most professions, if you're that wrong, you're fired. I mean, there's really there's no way
didn't-
around it.
It didn't stop his job. He was good. It's just for some reason when it came to Punk, it just was bad. But around everyone else, he was fine.
I mean, I
I
feel
don't
like
know why.
Punk was such a critical part of WWE programming back then that I feel like they were just gonna kind of, as long as it wasn't his arm literally falling off, they were just gonna kind of just keep going.
Well, then it kind of this is where it gets interesting. In the doctor's testimony, he talked about the night of the Rumble, where he was gonna pull Punk out because he thought he had a concussion, and I think he did.
I think so.
But Punk was like, "No, let's just go on for a little bit longer." And then they send out Kane, and then they eliminated him.
Hmm.
And I think that's the only point where, like, okay, I could kind of see where the doctor came from at that point. But the entire time, he was just admitting, like, yeah, I shared a whole bunch of personal information with all these other people about Punk's medical records. And I was just like, oh my God,
I mean,
you shouldn't be a doctor anymore.
Kind of makes you wonder what else is going on over there.
I mean, Punk at this point is just kind of, he's just so angry at WWE at this point. I just feel like, how long has this lawsuit been pending now? What, 2
I mean,
years?
it's been pending. No, it's been pending longer than that, 4 years.
Yeah, right. Right
was
when
right-
he walked out.
It was right after he walked out, and then right after he did the podcast with
Yeah.
Cabana, and that's why Cabana was a part of it, because apparently he was being sued for defamation as well, but also for just publishing that
Yeah.
podcast. And I don't want to say I get it, but I understand where the doctor was coming from with it, but he had zero case.
Well, Punk might not want to piss off any more medical professionals because after tomorrow night, he's probably going to need a few of them.
Yeah.
He might
He
need
had
some
four-
help.
He had 4 days to prepare for his fight, and by the time this podcast goes on, he's going to be fighting, and we'll see what kind of condition he's going to be in.
He's fighting, I believe, I think since Punk fought Mickey Gall, who he got creamed. Mickey Gall fought another fighter, and Gall killed that guy. Whoever that guy is, I think is who Punk is facing
Yeah.
tomorrow.
They basically have like a similar record, but the guy that he's facing is still like in the same age
He's a-
bracket as Gall.
And he's a UFC fighter.
Like he's an actual fighter. Like
Right.
Punk has gotten at least 3 years of training. That's still not enough considering his age and considering.
And he's only had one
everything.
actual fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, so-
training's nothing as once you get into the octagon. It's just a different
Just
beast.
throw him in there with Brock. We'll make
Yeah,
this
it's
into a
just-
comedy show. Whoever survives, that's
Yeah,
it.
it's just a different
I mean,
beast.
after this, do you think he's done with UFC?
I thought he should have been done when he lost to Gall. Supposedly, what was gonna happen, the rumor was after he got destroyed, he was gonna go to like a lesser known fighting.
Yeah, that's what I thought initially. But then he's like, no, I'm staying in UFC, and it's like,
Which
they're just raking in.
Well, I mean,
raking in the draw money. That's what he's doing.
Right. I admire his fortitude, and I'm sure he's getting a shiny penny if he lives. But I don't know.
But if he gets destroyed again tomorrow,
But after this fight, that's gonna happen. Is it just gonna continue trying to money grab, or is
it depends how bad it really depends how bad it's gonna
but what happens if he gets killed in this fight and then he goes to All In and he goes, you know what? I kind of miss this.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was
Which
thinking.
he does. He's already kind of hinted that
Like
he's
saying right
missing
now,
it.
he's like, oh, it's not gonna. He goes, I won't say never, but at this point, I'm fully committed to fighting. But if he gets his block knocked off tomorrow, and he's hanging out, with all the guys he used to hang out with in Ring of Honor, and he's around the atmosphere again.
Well, it's like, what do you consider block? Because by all rights, he's gonna lose tomorrow. Like,
I mean, there's no.
But it's like, is he gonna lose? Like, what if it goes 3 rounds? And
If it goes 3 rounds,
like,
then it's like a really good fight, and he
Right.
still loses. I
right.
think like
if
he's
he
gonna stay
lasts
in.
around, or maybe even into the second one, that's a win compared to the massacre
and if he
that
gets
happened.
knocked out in the first 15 seconds.
Well,
again,
then
man.
right.
But then that's
It all depends, because I will guarantee you, even if he loses tomorrow, as long as he doesn't lose in like 3 seconds, if he fights again, he's gonna get money again. Because think about it, don't you want to see Punk fight? You want to see it.
Yeah,
you
I
want
wanna-
to see
I
it.
wanna see
I
it
mean,
with a
that's what I'm
stopwatch.
doing tomorrow night.
Right.
I'm going to Buffalo Wild Wings with my girlfriend and her family, and we're watching the Punk
You
fight.
want to see it,
Like-
and even if he loses tomorrow, if I tell you he's gonna fight in a few months, you're gonna want to see it again.
Like he's a draw. Like
Right? He's a draw.
Like-
He's a draw.
Call it Bellator at this point.
And UFC knows, because WWE fans and UFC fans, they're not interchangeable all the time. There's a good amount of people that are one or the other. So bringing in a WWE guy, as known from Brock, even if Punk doesn't have any talent, is going to bring in a lot of people.
I mean, the difference between what happened with Brock and what happened with Punk is that Brock was kind of an already established, like, I want to say amateur wrestler. That's what I was gonna. But he was an amateur wrestler, so he knew how to do that stuff. And then he had like an actual good year of training with no injury.
It was still a big surprise though for what he did.
Oh yeah.
He's he's
had
bigger. He's in better shape.
a physical freak.
He is, and there's no doubt. But
Well,
just watching
the
him in the
heavyweight
octagon.
division though is always fun to watch in UFC.
Yeah.
It's way more fun than watching that on WWE. That's just a fact.
Oh, definitely.
Like, you look
without
at
a doubt.
Punk, he's got a physique like Jared over here.
Hey,
it's
dude.
like,
I'll take that as a
I mean, you see
compliment.
his
I'm
physique-
cool with a compliment. That's a compliment, guys.
clean cut white bread.
For those listening right now, I have CM Punk's physique. That's a win. All right. So
All right, fine, we'll go with Jimmy.
Yeah, just showing up the rib cage and everything. Just I mean, he looked sickly the last time though. When he fought, to me at least.
Maybe it'll be a little bit better.
what at UFC when he fought at UFC
when he
the
fought
first time?
when he fought the first time against Gall, I thought he looked sickly.
I don't remember. I think
Like,
he
you
looked
saw his
pretty
rib-
good.
I think you saw his rib cage. Like
He did?
he looked thin. Like he looked like a good thin, but you saw his rib cage. I was
He
like,
ate too
"Ugh."
much of that Chicago deep dish, got sick the night before.
I mean, it's probably what he did. After this whole trial, got another deep dish, and now he's gonna go fight again. Ugh.
We'll see.
He
what
got
happens.
a beer. root beer. He got a root beer.
Yeah, root beer.
Root beer and a candy cigarette. That's
We'd
what
have
he
to go
got.
back into the walk the line in the ring with Jericho watching. We're gonna go back to that again.
But we mentioned All In. As I don't know how well you guys know about All In. All In is a pay-per-view that Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks are putting up at the beginning of September
Yeah, in Chicago.
in Chicago. They sold out.
And I don't
and
even
then-
think they're gonna put it on pay-per-view.
We'll see.
There's a rumor that they're like still negotiating that, but
I mean, they have the money now, considering that they sold out basically all like the available tickets that they're gonna put up, besides whatever they like are hoarding away to Ticketmaster.
And supposedly they're already talking about a second one at the
Yeah,
Garden
that's,
already.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Dave Meltzer reported that there's a potential of first off, he reported that a wrestling event, not WWE, has scheduled the Madison Square Garden arena at the end of the year, and the Young Bucks and Cody were talking about, we're thinking about going to New York.
So you
So
put
it-
2 and 2 together.
two and
And
two
what
together.
what other promotion would be big enough to
TNA
do?
definitely.
Right, like
Impact Wrestling
it's
can
gotta
totally
it's
sell out.
gotta be.
I've been thinking about this for a while. I mean, obviously, it sounds like it's most likely going to be All In 2. I would hate that only because it's so close to All In. Like, only 3 months
Yeah.
afterwards. And I think that's just... They have to play this strategically, otherwise they're gonna not succeed.
Well, it's tough
the
because you
second
don't,
time.
because and you don't exactly. I mean, obviously it's sold out. It has the makings to be a good show, but you don't know. You know, it's.
Yeah, I know.
You
This
know,
is why I'm like,
You
Cody,
never- you
gotta
never
calm
know.
down a little bit.
you know how many WrestleManias look like they're going to be outstanding, and then it's,
Yeah, they end up
it's
being,
crap.
you
Hey,
know.
this year was great. Nicholas will forever live on in the memories of fans.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, that's how I lost the belt for WrestleMania because Nicholas won the tag team titles.
Don't worry, CJ's not holding it much longer.
Yeah, I know. He's not holding it.
We're calling it a challenge.
Seriously, can we just get like a handicap match or something? The three of us.
Can we make like each of his picks like much more detailed? Like if Ronda doesn't win with the armbar though, it doesn't count.
Yeah, and what color makeup is she gonna have on?
We gotta
How
make
many times is she gonna adjust her shorts? We'll see.
at least 15, and that's a 5-minute match.
We're doing an over/under on the short adjustments.
Oh my god. But I was also considering like, is there actually another wrestling promotion to do it? I think New Japan's the only legitimate one, but I personally think they don't have the balls to do it.
They wouldn't go. All
Yeah,
No,
they
they're not
wouldn't
gonna go
here. They
I
wouldn't
think
come
depending on
They'd
how
go to, like,
well
LA or
All In
something.
does,
They
then
wouldn't.
they might, but I doubt it.
I
They
I
go
doubt
somewhere
it.
on the West Coast, but it's still kind of close to Japan in proximity.
Granted, if they did come here, that would be awesome.
Oh, yeah, it
Like,
would
that
be.
would be because they are incredible.
Okada Omega 10 years from now.
Or
Except
anything,
the
or
Garden.
anything with Jericho. I mean, what he's doing there is crazy. He's just unbelievable, Jericho.
And then, yeah. I mean, that's all the all in stuff. There is an interesting trademark that WWE talked about. They're potentially getting NWO back, and it has been stirring around of, are they potentially bringing back the NWO?
There has been talk a while that Kevin Nash wanted to become a manager.
I mean, but then who would be the
Right,
new
I was about
members
to
of-
say what would the staple be?
I mean,
Roman Reigns.
I would. Oh
Have
my
him
god!
pull a full-on
I would
Hogan.
burn. I would burn my NWO.
Have him pull a
shirt.
full-on Hogan
Exactly.
and join the NWO.
I mean,
It's
They had an
Hollywood.
inside man.
It's Hollywood Roman Reigns. Oh my God.
someone kill me.
Now let me tell you something, brother. Oh Lord.
I'm the guy. Get out. Someone leave.
Get out! I'm burning my NWO.
But
shirt.
seriously,
Burn it down.
Because it can't. Oh my god. It can't be an older guy, obviously. So, and it's got to be. You know, the NWO it had some intensity to it, so it can't be like
Hey
a.
yo, Scott Hall still got some miles left in him.
I mean, would they incorporate the club back into? Would they incorporate the club into? Because I feel like
I
that'd
could
be
see
so
not.
AJ.
cheesy.
I could see Bobby Roode being someone that could be if he
No,
ditches the
No,
glorious.
no.
If he ditches the glorious gimmick.
He's not
Who
going
wants
to.
that to happen?
Well, if he's gonna become a heel, it's gonna have to happen. Otherwise, people are gonna keep cheering for him.
I'm trying to think of someone. It could be. It's got to be. You know, the big. They're
Joe?
aggressive. Yeah.
Or
Samoa
this.
Joe.
I mean,
I wouldn't challenge that world
So
order.
all right. So you got Samoa Joe. You got Braun, and who's the last one? And I guess we got to stick with Raw.
Shinsuke.
No, I guess we got to
No.
stick with Raw. So give me Lashley.
no,
No.
they're not gonna put
Sami Zayn.
They're not gonna put all big guys in there.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Kevin Owens.
Maybe
He's got the mic skills to be a
Yeah,
front
he
man
could be like
that.
the leader,
He
right?
needs
Yeah, he could
they
do
need a
it.
mouthpiece. They need a good mouthpiece.
Can you
And
imagine
Vince
all-
wants him to cut weight, so
That would be.
Oh my
man.
god.
That would be pretty cool. KO, Samoa Joe, and Braun. Book it. New world order.
crap. We didn't follow the trademark in time. Now Vince is gonna take it.
Yeah,
damn it.
God damn it.
He
Liz.
listens to this show intently and takes notes.
Yeah,
actually.
we're sued.
This is gonna end up in like episode 4 of Camp WWE.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Have there been 4 episodes?
I
of
think the
Camp
4th one just came out on Sunday.
WWE? Why is that?
the
still-
fourth episode of season 2.
How many episodes did we watch? 2.
Yeah, we did watch
Yeah,
too.
sweet Jesus.
What did you guys think of that?
Oh boy.
I thought it was great.
You did really?
I thought it was like that, like. How would I
Episode
describe
1
it?
of each season has been
the
solid.
the series premiere, the literal first episode, we loved, and we thought the rest of season 1 was pretty much crap.
You
Then
didn't like. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let back it up. There's an episode where Triple H and Vince McMahon are basically on a date. You're telling me you did not enjoy that?
oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good
I think
one.
that was the same one where what was it? Mark Henry had to give birth to a constipated
That
poop
was
of John Cena.
brutal to watch.
he didn't believe me that Triple H is still voicing Quad H.
Yeah, who was Quad H?
Yeah,
It
I
was
know
Triple
that
H.
one didn't sound like.
It
It was-
didn't.
I'm telling you, it was Triple H with
I
doing
don't-
something to his voice.
There was no way.
It's possible. I'm not backing that one out. That's completely
Can
possible.
you Google? Can we Google
I'm
this?
Googling it
This
right
is
now.
like
I'm telling
super
you.
But
important
you
right now.
didn't enjoy the first episode of the second season where it was what was it? The Ultimate Warrior showed up.
No, that was the second one.
Oh, the second
That
one.
was
You didn't enjoy that one, really?
And
Honestly,
then
I
whoever-
loved that
the
one.
first one was good. What was the first one? What was
The
the
first one was like.
Oh, it's
Cena.
Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Oh, there was that great Ric
And then-
Flair joke. What the heck was that Ric Flair
Oh,
joke?
Ric Flair always likes some extra chunky or something like that.
Yeah, it was like this 10 out of 10 joke that like killed us both. That pretty much.
Oh, it was the peanut butter. It's Ric
Yeah.
Flair that likes extra chunky.
Yeah, it was R-Truth. R-Truth was like, "You want peanut butter with it?" And R-Truth was like, "I'm allergic to peanut butter." Oh, it's Ric Flair that likes it chunky, and you're just like, "Oh my god!"
Triple
That-
H as Quadruple H. It's in there.
He gets the
in
credit.
He's in the voice cast.
Wow, then
I'm
he I
telling
guess
you,
made
was-
like a
he was
voice or
screwing
something.
with his voice.
That's
I don't know. Whoever was the voice actor for Ultimate Warrior was spot on.
Yeah, that is true. But for me, it's like the first episodes are good,
I
and
don't know
then
who
after that, it's
Xander
like,
Mobus is, but he's getting credit for the Warrior, and
Good
by all
job.
means, he
Good
pulled
job.
it off.
All right. Let's move on to something else.
we've gotten a bit sidetracked.
Yeah, we did. Before we talk about the last thing, because I really want to save that for last. Let's go back to some older stuff, because I really want to get your guys' opinion on this. The WWE Fox deal. What do you guys? I really want to get a real raw opinion from you guys, because me and CJ talked about it nonstop, and we continuously still.
There is talk that they could move Ronda to SmackDown to kind of boost ratings early on in the Fox partnership.
Yeah, we talked about that too. But honestly, what did you guys think of the whole deal?
I think I like it. I do. I think I like it. I mean, because it just seems like.
I think Fox might have overpaid a little bit. But
Well, that's a definite. Right. It depends.
Fox overpaid? I think NBC Universal overpaid. They paid triple times the amount for Raw.
Well, yeah, but what I think what the thought is that
Yeah,
like
but SmackDown's
for
the beat.
SmackDown,
SmackDown's the
right?
beat show.
Yeah,
For
but-
SmackDown, did you pay that? This is my feeling. SmackDown is considered the B show, and
It's only considered the B show because
WWE makes it that way, in my
Yes,
opinion.
But if you move it to Fox, you stack it with people on
right.
because you're gonna how do I word this?
you're also going to get boosts from probably having advertisements during football games.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna lead
But
into.
also, it's gonna be prime time television.
Exactly. Right. Like
It's
that's
prime
what,
time Friday nights, 8 to potentially 11. They're
Yeah,
thinking about
they might
extending
move
it
to
to
3
3 hours.
my thought. Well, first off, if it was a perfect thought, I would have Raw be 2 hours. That's just me. I think 3 is just a little too long.
Well, the
Especially
difference, I
if
think-
with a split, with a brand split, I think you only need 2 hours. But if let's say like it was just like one brand, I think then you could like do a 3 hour thing. But yeah, basically my feeling with SmackDown is this: it's the B show because WWE makes it that way. Like you'll be it'll be a feud for Survivor Series, and then that's when SmackDown becomes like important. But then after that, they consider it the B show. Raw gets 3 hours. Raw gets the huge names.
now-
Raw got 3 draft picks in
right,
the beginning.
but now you put this on a major channel where Fox even said like they are going to treat this like it's legitimate, like it's a real, like everything's on the up and up. They're gonna plug it during Fox NFL football. They're gonna plug it. They're gonna make it feel important. Maybe we can get a shakeup and get some bigger names, make it feel bigger. I like it. I do. I think it could be. I think it could work, especially because it's a Friday. Also,
All right,
I think it
so-
could work.
All right, if you had to pick 5 people to move over to SmackDown, who would it be?
5. Oh,
5. I know.
5's a lot.
La-
I probably wouldn't take 5. over.
Last week, me and CJ played a game called Fox or Not, where we went through legitimately the whole roster to see who was going to be on the Fox SmackDown and who was not, obviously from the game. And he put out some interesting ones, but I at least want 5 from you guys, considering just the amount of
5. That's tough. I mean,
just the top 5.
Braun is worthy.
Yeah, we
Braun-
talked about.
Braun's
yeah,
right
you're
on.
gonna want to bring Braun. It's tough. You don't want
Braun, Ronda. That's 2 easy ones.
you want to put Ronda on SmackDown.
Yeah, I think so. I think that it would make sense.
I know, but
Because you want to know why, though? It's because I think Stephanie's going to go over to SmackDown. They have to put a McMahon on a main thing.
I mean,
and
you'll
don't
have
think
Shane.
I think me and CJ talked about
Steph's
this.
a bigger draw by
Yeah.
a mile.
I think because of what they did with WrestleMania this past WrestleMania with Ronda and Stephanie, it would make sense to
Shane
put
did
Stephanie.
jump
Wherever
off the cage.
Ronda goes, Steph is gonna follow, and vice versa. That's
Exactly.
because
I mean-
that's gonna come to a head at some
It's gonna-
point. I don't know
Well,
when.
I need the
I don't know
lady-
if they're
I
gonna
need the
fight at
lady
the
balls.
Rumble. I don't
I
know if
need
they're gonna fight at the Rumble or something.
I need those
but
lady balls off my screen. Yeah, she needs to go away for a while. Just
she's such a good character, though. It's crazy because she's like really nice in real life. It's crazy what she's able to do.
look. The last time the McMahons were 2 all over the product, we got the main event of WrestleMania 2000. I'm not going back there again.
And your point?
Trust Linda McMahon for Senate. Oh my God. There goes TV 14 down the drain.
No, yeah, I'd bring Braun over. Are we doing 5 as in combined women and men, or
Yeah, just top 5 overall.
Okay, yeah, I would I'd bring Braun over. There's a good amount of women.
I might bring Owens over.
Owens?
Back to SmackDown. No, you can't bring him back after that.
No,
train
Balor.
wreck.
I think I might go Balor over Owens.
Well, yeah, the club's there. That's not the worst idea. Balor's not terrible either.
I'm thinking more who's just going to draw eyes to the product.
I would bring Bliss over to
Yeah.
SmackDown. I think that would definitely, because she was already on SmackDown before, and she just lost the belt. This could help generate some stuff. That would be good. I would definitely bring Bliss over. Trying to think if you definitely want to keep the Shield together on Raw. That's a definite. You're gonna want to keep that.
Or you bring them on
intact.
SmackDown.
Oh no, God.
They're not gonna bring it. No, they're not.
No,
They're just not gonna let go
Well,
of his
Dean
pet
Ambrose might not
projects,
be
though.
back until the Fox deal starts at this point.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I know.
crazy that he's.
They
been
say he'll be
hurt
out
for
to what, at
this
least September?
long. And I remember, I think the two of us were watching that together when the injury happened, and we thought it was pure kayfabe. I think it was against Samoa. I think Samoa Joe did it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we thought it was kayfabe when it first happened. Like, it was just pure fake, and then we realized, like, oh my God, like, what
Yeah, now
the
he'll
hell?
be out almost a year now.
That's
assuming the September.
That's such a shame. Trying to think. Hardy and Wyatt could be. I mean, it depends on how long they'd be together.
No, yeah,
but
that's what me and CJ were talking about. But I think you have to keep Matt away from the Fox one just for right now, just because
I think you got to keep him and Jeff apart.
well,
for a
right,
little while.
that I was about to
Well,
say.
yeah,
That's
keep him and
another
Jeff
thing. You
apart,
got
but
to
I
keep
think
them apart.
Just the amount of craziness we're gonna throw into the Fox network area with
Right.
putting Matt Hardy into that. That's why I was like, no, not yet. I think we decided to put like Sanity on there or something like that.
Oh, like someone from NXT.
Well, they
like,
still got.
Well, they're already
get their
they're almost
debut.
they're gonna.
well, they're gonna. Yeah.
They're there, yeah. They literally
But-
have nothing.
Oh, by
for
the way,
them.
not to get sidetracked, where the heck's AOP?
They have nothing for them at the moment. They're too focused on Money in the Bank. They said the same thing about AOP and Sanity.
Like, what in the I don't
Yeah, so
that's
the-
crazy. Not to get sidetracked, I apologize, but that's
yeah,
just ridiculous.
Yeah, I know they should have been in the main event though.
Like,
I think they're
that's-
holding it off until SummerSlam though, and
Well,
that
'cause
I
I
think would have been a
think
better.
If they mess them up, I mean their debut, they dumped Paul Ellering. What am I?
That Dean Ambrose looks extremely different now.
Yeah, he has a beard now.
Yeah, full beard, very short hair.
Oh wow, and he doesn't look like he came
He
out of
looks
the
like
gutter.
yeah, he looks like another Sami Zayn.
That honestly looks like it could be a heel.
I was this
Look.
close to being like, is that Sami Zayn at the game? Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, what was that? That was
He was at the Stanley Cup final.
yeah, the Stanley Cup final.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
I wonder though, with this Fox deal, could we see a move back to TV 14?
It's possible. We talked about that too. Also, another thing for the Fox deal, they might put NXT on FS1.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
That
They
would
actually
be
get NXT a TV deal.
fantastic.
They haven't been on TV since they were on Sci-Fi in that god awful season 1. It was won by
And season
Wade
2
Barrett.
and half of season 3.
Oh, season 2.
Because NXT is just, I mean, pretty much majority of the time, in my opinion, I feel the NXT pay-per-views are better than the WWE pay-per-views. I mean, the NXT pay-per-views
what they're doing-
are just, what Triple H is doing behind this, like with that, it's crazy how good those pay-per-views are. And the crazy thing is they keep calling people up, and you just think to yourself, like, all right, they're out of ideas. And then the next pay-per-view, it's like, where are they getting all these? It's crazy.
Well, speaking of like the crazy people, did you see the most recent thing that the internet's been talking about for NXT between Velveteen Dream and Ricochet?
Well, I know they're having a match. In
Well,
Monday
yeah,
Night-
but there was the way that feud almost basically started off was I think Ricochet just had a match. He just finished. Velveteen Dream calls him out. He's like, whatever you can do, I can do better. Then Ricochet, being Ricochet, decides to do a freaking 450 flip from outside the ring, landing onto the ramp right in front of Velveteen Dream, stands up and goes, do that. And Velveteen Dream's face, oh my God, like the biggest wide-eyed, just incredible. And then after that, on his Twitter page, which is the best thing, I recommend anyone go look at this. He changed his profile picture to
Who Ricochet did?
no. This is Velveteen Dream.
Dream.
Actually, I should start off with this. His banner says, "He may be a king, but I am the prince," and his profile picture is is the former Ricochet gimmick of Prince Puma.
Oh
It was
my
It
god!
is literally the funniest thing in the world.
He's savage on social
He's-
media.
oh
though,
my
the
God.
There's been times where they thought like that it had nothing to do with kayfabe, like what he was doing.
No,
on
he's
social
very-
media.
he's very-
really good.
No, that's how you use Twitter though in the age of like no kayfabe in WWE essentially.
Yeah, I
So
mean
keep
he's
it somewhat alive. Besides whatever Matt Hardy's doing in his crazy YouTube pages.
yeah. I mean
that's
you
also
have-
what you do.
Yeah, you have Dream against Ricochet. You have Gargano against Ciampa again, which in my opinion that was the match of the year. Like what
They're gonna have another one.
Fine,
Yeah, street fight.
Do it as many times as you want. I mean, what NXT's churning is unbelievable, and I feel pretty good about saying that if they put it on a major network, I feel like it would churn a profit. I mean, it is.
We
just,
need Mauro Ranallo on a major network. But does it also mean Michael Cole might get moved back to SmackDown? Because he's the
No,
more...
Nah,
no,
probably
no.
not.
He's,
Nah.
Yeah, but is he really going to trust Tom Phillips in that role of lead commentator on Fox? Or
I
is he gonna
disagree.
give
I
it to
think the
someone
lead
he
commentator
trusts?
role is gonna go to Corey Graves. He's on both.
Oh.
I think,
I think
Graves
that-
is more of an analyst type of this
Yeah,
point.
I can't see him doing
I don't want to.
play.
No, he's not gonna
yeah.
be play by play, but he's gonna be the main person for the commentary.
I can't
table.
hear him do. I can't listen to him doing play-by-play for 3 hours.
Yeah,
That-
it's,
I would.
he's an acquired taste. Like it's rough. You don't know if he's heel or face. He always complains. I mean,
when you
it's
watch
just-
him for 5 hours straight, Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, it's
he's
a
like,
lot.
all
It's a
right,
lot.
it's time to go. Time for NXT.
it's. I have Booker do play by play.
Speaking of which, this past Monday, who the fuck puts David Otunga on the commentary table?
Oh no!
Oh my God!
What happened? Who
It
who
was-
lost?
there
A,
was-
They
Brandon
were in
Deal was that.
Houston too.
who lost a bet? Like
You
what
couldn't-
happened?
You couldn't text Booker T like, "Hey Booker, put some shoes on. We're 20 minutes from your house.
Look,
Come do commentary."
Booker's our commentator of the year, but sweet Jesus, is
Did you
Otunga
see
bad?
The WTF moments for Raw this week. First one, just sees David Otunga. And he's like, no, oh no. And I'm
He's
like,
so bad.
because I remember I turned Raw on late because I don't remember.
Yeah, no,
Were
same.
the NBA Finals Monday night?
I don't remember.
No,
I think
I think
Game 2 was Monday night. So I was watching that, and I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on with Raw. And then I hear David Otunga. I'm like, what's going on? where did you come from?
Yeah,
Who did I piss off in a previous life?
because I had on the DVR and usually I like fast forward all the intros and all the filler, and then all of a sudden we get to like the first segment or something, and someone comes out and I hear like Otunga's voice. I'm like, wait a minute, what? That can't be
Are we on a
right.
pre-show panel?
Yeah, that can't be right. Where's Renee? What the hell's going on?
Man, if
Renee
they
Dupree?
if they move over to the Fox deal and everything like that, if they had to redo the commentary table, would we see Renee Young actually get what I think us fans really want is Renee Young on a commentary table?
I think she'd be very good, and when I say very good, I mean a lot. There's a lot of male commentators that really just suck.
I think Dean
And
Ambrose
I
gets.
think-
I
I
think
think she
he gets
would-
her on a different type of table. So I think we're okay. I think everything's okay.
How do you know that
All
hasn't
right.
already happened?
All right, we got to start writing this down a little bit. Let's talk about the very last thing that I wrote down. And oh boy, is this a doozy. Shawn Michaels recently was on, I believe, Sky News, and he talked about potentially wanting to have one more match coming out of retirement. What do we think?
Well, he said that if he would do it, it would be one of three. It would be either Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, or Johnny Gargano. And he said it would be a one-off. It would have to be done right. There's no feud. He's not coming back. It's one match. And he never said, like, this is happening. He basically said, like, nothing's in the works. But he said, if I was going to do it, these would be my terms. Now, I don't know if, like, WWE heard this, or maybe this was a play. We could talk to the cows come home about if there's a hidden meaning behind any of this. I'm trying not to get too excited.
Who returns to a WWE ring first, Shawn Michaels or CM Punk?
Oh God!
Oh my God. Ooh, let's get a pool going on right now.
Yeah.
That sounds like, oh boy.
It's interesting because and a lot of people on social media don't want this. They don't.
No, because I think they looked at the Flair one, they looked at the Hogan one, and they were like, no, we don't. Let Shawn Michaels and The
Right.
Undertaker have that last moment at WrestleMania 26. It was beautiful. It was done and made.
Right.
And I
And
think,
even end of an era at 28 where they were still kind of like saying goodbye to the old guard.
Like
Even
Shawn
that
was
was well done.
That was fantastic. 25, 26, like the 27, 28, the Triple H Shawn Michaels stuff with The Undertaker was just absolute brilliance. But then again, you think about it this way, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but The Undertaker has been like retiring for probably like 3 straight years now, and I feel like not enough people are like unhappy about. Like I feel like most people are just are happy that he's still doing it. When
Well, I think that's why you two and CJ are planning to go to Madison Square Garden.
Not
to go see
planning.
them.
Tickets-
no, not planning.
tickets
It's already
are
done.
bought.
No, it's already
Tickets are
done.
bought.
It's already done. It's already done. Fair enough. That is fair enough. But like, it's to the point. It's like with Undertaker. Like, for God's sakes. Like, it
Look,
just,
if he's just gonna squash Jinder Mahal in 2 minutes, I'm fine with it.
I'm just all I want to see is the entrance, and then I feel like he's just gonna cut some promo about souls and holes, and
He'll
that'll be
tombstone
it.
someone. Hopefully, doesn't kill him, and we'll move on.
But like, yeah, like I understand about Shawn Michaels because that retirement was just so perfect, and he has, and WWE and different people and brands have been goading him and been like, come on, one more, and he just keeps saying no because how much he honors what the Undertaker did and what the two of them did. But
Plus, he probably doesn't want to be like Flair, who just went into TNA.
Well, he's not going to do any of that.
I
Right.
think the difference between I'm glad you brought that up. The difference between Flair and Michaels is that I think Flair had a real
Flair needed the money.
real unhealthy.
Flair needed the
he
money.
needed the money, but he had also a real unhealthy addiction to wrestling.
He had an unhealthy
really
addiction to a lot of stuff. I mean, he was he was messed up for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Ric Flair was messed up for. He needed the money, and he
But, like,
couldn't
at the-
leave, and he was losing his family and his wife. It's just so different. Like if this happened in like the '90s where Michaels was still a piece of crap, like then But you know, he is so like.
But like he had an amazing comeback too, though. After when he came back in 2002 and had that
Mm-hmm.
great that feud with Triple H, and even after that with
That's when he won the first chamber match, right?
yes,
2002, yeah.
and then you also had him and
Jericho
Jericho, him
WrestleMania
and
19, yeah.
and Undertaker. I mean,
and even Cena.
Yeah,
Oh,
good
yeah.
match with Cena.
what was that WrestleMania 21?
23.
23?
And then they had the DX reunion, yes, where Michaels is a born-again Christian, couldn't do half stuff he used to do back then, but, you know, he's also 52 years old now, though.
But that's the same age Ric Flair retired from WWE, essentially. So I don't think that he's.
Well, Ric Flair was
incapable-
52.
when he first.
He looked older, honestly, in
Well, he was
24.
wrestling well into his 60s.
He looked older in WrestleMania
I
24.
think-
He looked like
I think
hell.
He was around like that same age, I think, that Michael.
When I watched 24, I was like, wow, Ric Flair's doing this at 60? Good for him. And wow,
Yeah,
52.
but Michaels also, he had such a more high-risk style. And you've seen in a lot of his matches where he goes, that moonsault,
Oh my God,
especially
that
when he
moves,
botched
yeah.
it against Flair at Mania and just got destroyed on the announce table. Flair is 69 now.
So
So if he was
10
10 years
years
ago-
60.
yeah, he was 60.
60. There you go. 60 years old.
It looks like he's 60.
Yeah, that's what I thought. When he came in, I was like, this always in his 50s. That guy looks 60. his man boobs are bouncing like hell. He's 60.
Hey, look, if we're gonna get a Michaels comeback match, let's get that Hogan one going. You know? It's
oh
just-
my God, let's not get into that. Oh God.
No, selfishly, yeah, to see Shawn, because I think Shawn Michaels could
Yeah,
still go.
I think he could still
He
go.
could definitely
Yeah,
still
but
go.
I don't want to be proven wrong. Like, I'd rather just remember him for how it went out. Like, I can see the whole, because we all think it's gonna be great, but
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels is still 52 years old.
I know, but at the same time, AJ Styles can get a 4-star match with a banana, and that's the truth. Like he like even if
They
Shawn
didn't give his match with fucking Naito 4 stars.
oh, like what the hell? I see it both ways. I do. I see it both ways, and it makes sense for him to just stay retired
Not
because.
Naito, Okada.
But it's
Yeah.
it's valued just so much, his retirement. But God damn it, if he went against AJ Styles or Daniel Bryan,
Look, AJ
I mean,
already got one over the hill guy at Mania. He got Shane McMahon. That's it. You get your quota. That's it. You got one. That man almost died for you.
that was a good match. That was the opening match, right?
Yeah, it was the opening
Yeah,
match.
That was a
Match.
good match.
Man, Shane McMahon. I still remember that concussion he got at Survivor Series when Reigns
Oh my
put him
God.
through the ring.
Just that.
Oh God, with the coast to he tried
Yeah,
to
he
get
tried
coast
to
to
do a
coast,
coast to coast
and then he
and
got
it's speed.
speared through midair, and then you just see him like, "Mommy, what's for supper?" Oh my! And then I think Randy Orton had to go to his family, like he's not dead, he's alive,
He's okay. He's okay.
he's okay, he's not dead.
I'm like, Jared, don't worry about it. He's not going to catch him with a... And I'm like, well, Shane's dead. That's it. They got to get
You
a new
just saw
commissioner.
his eyes and the veins coming out his forehead. Like, what year is it?
Oh my dad said we need a new commissioner at SmackDown Live.
Yeah, he straight up died. Like he just.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I think it's a big debate with Shawn Michaels. I don't really think there's a right or wrong. Selfishly, I think I want it. I do.
Yeah, no. Selfishly,
I think I
want
do.
it. Deep down.
Right.
It's
It's like
right.
I know he should probably stay retired, but I just but then in my heart and soul, I'm like, oh god damn it, get back in that ring.
But
'Cause,
in our
like,
fantasy draft, I did choose Prime Shawn Michaels to main event many of my shows with Kenny Omega.
yeah, I don't. Yeah.
And if you put AJ Styles in that thing, it's basically almost the same thing. So.
Yeah, I mean at this point,
Yeah, I mean, and financially, imagine Styles against Michaels. Oh
if
my
it doesn't,
I mean, they were
You don't even need a pay-per-view. You could just do okay, that match, that's it. No,
yeah,
and then,
but Roman or Brock is gonna main event that Mania. That's how it goes. So
Well, yeah, if it's a Mania, but I mean, who really knows? What
wait,
the
hang
match
on a
is gonna
second.
be.
Sidebar, because this is legitimate. I'm not even mocking. This is actually a legit question. If let's say Roman was going against someone, could be Brock, could be anyone, for some coronation number 8 million at WrestleMania, and AJ Styles is taking on Shawn Michaels, which one goes on last?
Roman.
Oh, it has to be Roman.
It's
Oh
Roman.
my
had-
god!
Whoa,
Oh my
Well,
god!
No, I
Coronation
think-
number 3 is coming at SummerSlam.
But wait a minute, that's no brainer. Like we're just saying that there's
Yeah,
no thought.
yeah,
I know how
Yes,
Vince McMahon thinks at this point.
Styles against Shawn Michaels.
No,
Styles not-
don't get me wrong.
Oh,
Obviously,
no, I know
the
what
better-
should. I know what
What
I'm.
should.
Styles
It should be
Nakamura
Styles.
did
But you
main
really
event.
think it's a no-brainer? Vince will just be like, "This is Roman.
Yes!
Put him last." Oh
Yes!
my god!
Styles Nakamura didn't main event the show. It was a dream match, and Nakamura won the Rumble, and it still didn't main event the show.
I know, but that Styles Nakamura match at Mania was very
Yeah, but what it
underwhelming.
shouldn't be. And it's probably, I have a feeling probably their last chapter at Monday Night is gonna be incredible.
Oh boy.
Last
Man
Man Standing.
gonna be incredible.
Well, at Backlash it was going to be great, and then they double nut shot at each other, and then went that.
Well, this time it
but
can't
it was
end
a
like
good
that.
match. No,
This time it can't end like that. 10. Well, they're both down. Yeah, they nut shot at each other to death again. All right.
I feel like at some point one of them is just gonna wear a cup, and that's gonna be the whole.
yeah, seriously.
Imagine one of them's like, "Haha, I don't feel pain."
Yeah,
and then
come on,
takes out the
doofus!
cup.
For God's sakes!
Paige can't restart the match because she's back with Xavier for Chapter 2 in the back room.
Oh my God!
All right. On that note, I gotta wrap this down. All right.
Didn't it wrap it up?
When we're back, the pre-recording of Who's the Man. Oh boy.
Hello, Audio Marks. I am one of your Marks for Life podcast, so CJ, coming to talk to you about Patreon. Patreon is a place where you guys can go online and pledge your support to your favorite music artists, to your favorite artists, and even your favorite podcasts, like us. We at Marks for Life podcast have our own Patreon page, and we are always appreciative of our Marks for Life podcast pledges. So for only $1 a month, you too can also pledge your support to us. But that's not all. With $2 a month, you can get all of our podcast episodes, as well as a special shout out from the Shield of Wrestling podcast, Jimmy, CJ, and Joe. And even further, you can get all of that with $3 a month, plus a follow back on Twitter and Instagram. So, what are you guys waiting for? Head on over to Patreon at patreon.com. Search for us at Marks for Life Podcast. And we'll see you then, Audio Marks. Thank you very much. Back to the show.
And our main topic, CJ.
So, given all the events that have happened with Backlash, Vince McMahon, he's in a tough predicament. He's in a very tough
predicament.
Yes, because here's the thing. It's been reported that he's very upset with how the main event turned out because he values the New York, New Jersey crowd very highly. You know, that's where his roots are. That's where he really started, and he values them. And to see them walk out on Roman Reigns, it kind of puts a huge eye-opener for him to whether or not to really back Roman.
But he did still book Roman in the main event of Raw the next night.
He did, but he had Finn Balor go over.
Well, yeah, but he also had Finn Balor go over the last time when he just got drafted over Roman.
He
But
did.
I might have had Triple H's name written all over it though, so that's a little
Yes.
different.
But what I wanted to discuss is who could be considered the top guy in WWE, or is it more like
I know who should.
who should, who could, and like, do we even need a top guy or just top guys?
Well, I think we need to go back a little bit and talk about the history of top guys. I mean, let's look at the history of WWE.
So we have Bruno Sammartino, we have Bob Backlund. Could you consider Bob Backlund?
No.
Okay.
I would
No.
consider
Hulk Hogan.
Yes, but before that, in like a weird, like, just a small glimpse, Billy Superstar Graham, very small. And then jumped right into Hogan because Hogan was a better Hogan than Billy Superstar Graham.
Let's talk top guys' longevity, too.
Okay, so then Hogan, obviously.
Bruno, Hogan. You have...
Then there's that weird period right after Hogan between Brett and Shawn.
Brett and Shawn, because they were trying to get towards like the younger, smaller guys.
Yes.
So it was like Brett and Shawn.
And there was also the steroid thing that was going on, so smaller guys really needed to be stepping up, and they did, but they wouldn't get the proper recognition.
Well, that new generation of WWF is kind of considered a low point.
But they had the best wrestlers though at that time. They had
the worst drawing power. And the only reason the Attitude Era kicked in is because they faced legit competition from WCW.
They did.
And then you had Austin.
Austin, The Rock. You can even throw Undertaker in there as just a longevity type of top guy.
I think after the Attitude Era, you had Undertaker be like a real top guy at that time.
Oh, like Ruthless Aggression top? Okay.
Yeah, right around that time. And then
like
you had
American
Brock,
Badass
the first
to
Brock.
redone Dead Man was like top guy Undertaker.
Oh, like 2004.
Yeah, it was like it's 2003 to like 2010-ish.
Okay.
It was like
Okay.
that was when
and then you had the first incarnation of Brock Lesnar.
You had Brock Lesnar. You had Triple H, who was the top guy for a very long time.
Yeah, but
that was the Reign of Terror.
It was exactly.
It was the Reign of Terror, but nonetheless, he was a top guy.
Yes. Then you had John Cena.
You had John Cena.
Kurt Angle was in there for a while.
Sure, Kurt Angle was in there for a while.
But you would see Kurt Angle though in the mid card as well.
I feel like when SmackDown was really starting to hit its peak as like a legitimate show with the SmackDown 6, that was when Angle was really starting to take off as a top guy.
Because that was Angle, Benoit,
Guerrero.
the Guerreros,
Edge, and Rey Mysterio.
Yes. And then you had The Undertaker, who was a top guy for a very long time. And then you would mostly have John Cena taking on from 2005 to about 2013.
Facing Randy Orton all the time. So it was Cena and Orton, kind of.
Cena, Orton, and Batista.
Well, about 2011, 2012-ish. Because then I would say, regardless of how Vince and WWE looked at it, CM Punk was the top guy.
He was the top draw, yeah.
He was the top guy at WWE.
I don't know. I don't see that.
He didn't last long. The Summer of Punk was only about what?
But that was a booking decision.
I'm not saying
that wasn't.
But even as a booking decision, he wasn't considered a top guy.
Yes,
yeah,
but that's
the only moments he was given. Is I feel like once he took that title off Cena at Money in the Bank, that was his big moment. I feel like it went down from there.
Exactly.
Because they tried to jam Del Rio in there, and then you had the whole thing with Punk and Triple H and Punk and Kevin Nash, and it was all convoluted.
Yes.
But regardless of how convoluted it was, it's still like we still love CM Punk and we still talk about him to this day. So that still has an impact regardless of that.
But the way he left, though,
he should have been treated as a top.
He should have, but he didn't.
That's why he left.
I think you're thinking of it as a mark. Like, yeah, he was definitely a top guy, but in the pure general scope of things.
Okay, in a pure general scope,
he was not a top guy.
I would say he was right. He was right there, though. I would say
we were still kind of getting fed Cena.
What?
We were still kind of getting Cena at that
Exactly. Time. We were still getting Cena and stuff. So it was mostly Cena, Orton, and Batista when he was here. I feel like Batista could be considered a top guy.
Yeah, those feuds he had with Undertaker.
Yeah, the early parts of his career.
Like 23, like WrestleMania 23 to 25. Like,
yeah, right around that.
Once those two, Cena and Batista, won their respective titles at 21, I think that kind of kicked off a run for them that kind of lasted probably, let's say, 4 or 5 years in Batista's case.
Yeah. And now, if we look at it now, Cena's no longer a top guy. Batista's gone. Randy Orton is now more of a mid-carder. CM Punk is gone. Daniel Bryan had a moment as a top guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say after Punk left, it really gave a real shining light to Daniel Bryan being quintessentially the fan picked and forced upon top guy.
Would Daniel Bryan be considered a top guy currently?
Yes. Well, currently, no.
Not currently.
But he could more than likely come back. He can come back.
There, yeah.
But
if he wins at Mania this next WrestleMania,
I think he has to build himself up again and build trust with the company, especially with his injury history.
Yeah, exactly.
He won't have a major title program for a while.
I agree. So currently, the two top guys we have, I believe that we could consider top guys, is Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And Brock Lesnar.
Objectively speaking, yeah.
Objectively speaking, yes. Brock Lesnar
should be AJ Styles.
It should be AJ. I agree with you on that. It should have been AJ as soon as he got the belt the first time off of Dean Ambrose.
Brock is treated like the biggest star because even Roman has to eat shit sometimes.
Yes.
Brock has not. What was the last thing that Brock came out as a loser? It was when Undertaker low blowed him at SummerSlam that year.
That was
Goldberg.
What, 2,
Goldberg.
3?
Oh, yeah, Goldberg.
Goldberg.
That was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's-
even with Goldberg, we knew Brock was gonna come back and take it.
Yes.
It was only a matter of time.
So now that Brock Lesnar's leaving and Vince knows it, and he sees that Roman Reigns is not getting his over, who could be positioned as a top guy or even a top circle, something like the SmackDown 6 or the Attitude Era, where not only you had guys like Austin and Triple H and Brock, you also had people like Mankind and Undertaker rounding out the main event scene.
I think you need multiple top guys as long as the brand split's still a thing.
Well,
You need
it's hard
that
to really say that the
SmackDown.
brand split is still in effect, though.
I mean, the two shows each have their own. As long as you have 2 heavyweight titles, you need to have multiple top guys.
Okay, I agree with you on that.
Okay, so let's put it like top guys, as in, I say we should have a top guys for 3 for. Well, the
3
main
or
event.
4 for SmackDown, 3 or 4 for Raw.
Yeah, because
Okay.
all right, for Raw, I still think Roman Reigns could be a top guy. I can
Okay.
agree. I can say that. I think Seth Rollins should be positioned as a top guy as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, he is the workhorse of Raw now that Brock isn't around.
Yes.
I think Roman reminds me a lot of Diesel, and now he was booked first as WWE champion. No one really got behind Kevin Nash as a character until after he left WWE.
For NWO.
And NWO, you saw like his more of his charisma, more of his kind of sarcasm and everything, more of his actual personality showed up. You can't once they kind of took the leash off him.
When Roman Reigns was in NXT, he went known as like a really entitled. Like, he played up his dynasty to a T. He came in suits. He came in like wristwatch and stuff. He's like, you hear this clock ticking, you hear this watch ticking. That's my time. I don't talk to you on your time. I only talk to you on my time, and my time says this interview is done. That was good, Roman, because he talked down. Like, you saw the confidence oozing. Here you kind of see him as a shaky guy. If you have him as a confident ass kicker, people will get behind that, because I feel like that's a more realistic Roman.
That was even Shield Roman because he didn't have to do much of the talking. Ambrose and Rollins did it.
But you still saw him ooze that confidence and that power and that
he beat
ass kicking.
people up. Like, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think
Who was the last person that Roman had a good match with and came out on top? Daniel Bryan at Fastlane 2 years ago.
maybe, but
I would
maybe
I
Bray
don't-
Wyatt. He had a lot lot of really good matches with Bray.
I think AJ.
AJ, he had a good match with.
Seth Rollins, he lost. Not Rusev.
No, he had a good match with AJ. Was it 2 years ago at the Rumble? And he won, or last year at the Rumble?
He never versed him at the
not
Rumble.
the Rumble.
He versed
It
him
was-
in the Rumble, but not
No,
like
it
the
was
match.
it was after Mania 2 years ago
Yeah, it
when
was-
AJ debuted.
It was
Right
Payback?
before the
Extreme
club.
Rules.
Yeah,
I think was one of them. I think they had multiple matches.
they had
but-
Payback too, I think.
Yeah, Payback.
One
of those-
It was Payback.
one of
and
those
Extreme
matches
Rules.
was good.
But
I know that.
I think Extreme Rules was the one that was really good.
Yeah, I think though with Seth Rollins can easily be the top guy in WWE.
I mean, he was the man at one point.
And he's still young too, because like top guys, they're supposed to be longevity. I feel like him and Roman can definitely do it. And there's one other guy I feel like can be a top guy on the Raw side of things. It's not Finn Balor.
That's the one I was gonna think, but
I don't think
Well,
so.
I think
we
with the
have a
right
list
booking,
of
he
4
can still do
people,
it.
so
3 to 4. Okay, so
with the right booking, Finn can do it because we saw he carried NXT for a while.
all right, so we could say Finn Balor. I'm thinking Dean Ambrose.
is Dean technically on? Yeah, Dean is still on Raw.
He's still yeah. They
He's
never.
still wrong. I think Dean Ambrose, if he comes back as a heel, he could still be, or he recaptures that edge. I feel like Dean Ambrose could easily be something that people build upon.
I think he could show up on either brand. I think people would be okay with it because it was so long since we've seen him that he could easily just say,
Yeah.
"Oh, during the shakeup, they moved me to SmackDown. They just never said anything."
Do you think that Dean Ambrose has that potential though?
Yeah, I think he does. I think if he comes back as a heel, it'd be good. I don't know if being a babyface would be good.
I don't think so.
He might have run his course to babyface.
Yeah, I
Because there
think
was that weird heel move that he had in the Shield before the implosion happened, like when Seth betrayed all of them.
yes.
Where we all thought Dean was gonna betray everyone, but then Seth.
Yeah. Plus, Raw needs more heels. You really only have Kevin Owens is one of the top heels. I mean, Lesnar when he wants to. Jinder, I guess, but
Sami Zayn is a.
he's a mid card heel. at this point.
Upper mid card. Let's put him like there.
I mean, I think Ambrose needs to either be a heel or be more of an anti-hero.
And they need to build Drew McIntyre and
Drew
Dolph Ziggler
McIntyre
up.
is a guy that I think
Can be a top guy.
he could be because I think they realized they screwed up with him so badly the first time and saw what he became in Ring of Honor and TNA, that he was actually a top guy. I think with the right, he has the charisma and he now has the look.
I think also someone. Let's go to the SmackDown thing before I bring up another point that we could talk about.
Okay.
Because I do agree with Drew McIntyre. SmackDown side of things, top guys, we have easily The Miz and Daniel Bryan.
And AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, maybe.
Oh, give me a break.
No,
you
AJ
need to explain why not.
Draw power.
I think he's got good draw power.
I think
he pinned John Cena clean.
Okay, well, that's...
and he's considered the world's greatest wrestler, regardless
Yeah.
of how
I
you
understand
view about
that.
any wrestling promotion in the
But
world.
he's gotten stale.
No, I don't know. That's AJ's fault. That's
I'm not
I
saying
think-
it is. I'm just saying
this feud he's in now with Shinsuke has gotten stale.
that I agree.
AJ needs to be re-energized to be reconsidered as a top guy. I feel like the top guys right now would be The Miz, would be Daniel Bryan, followed by AJ Styles. I think AJ would be third as a top.
I can't believe you're putting the WWE champion right now, the guy who basically built
I think I
SmackDown
would
back
put
from the
Miz
ground
third.
up.
Huh?
I think it would be Miz third.
No, I think as soon as Miz honestly gets the WWE championship, he will be the top guy. Top guy heel on SmackDown. I agree with that 100%. It's just right now it's hard to really...
But I feel
Put him
like
in there.
you can build a program around Daniel Bryan. You can build a program around The Miz. AJ Styles maybe, because they tried doing that, and it's a hit or miss with him.
Well, because I think the whole thing that people love about AJ is that he could have a match with a wet paper bag and could be easily 5 stars.
Oh yeah,
But these 3 matches with Shinsuke now have kind of been people. I think they've left people wanting more, but I don't think that's AJ's fault.
I don't think that's Nakamura's fault either. I think it's just the way they book. Yeah, exactly. It's just the way
because
they're
I
booking
feel
it.
like the way it went at WrestleMania was okay. This is babyface, but we're gonna have Nakamura turn to set something else up. Greatest Royal Rumble was a glorified house show. And they didn't have to go all out, and now they had another non-finish.
I understand. I agree. I think that AJ should be positioned higher as a top guy. I just don't see it right now.
I think I saw AJ be at the top guy as soon as he got the belt the first time.
2016, yes.
Yeah.
But I think his star power has went down since then.
It went slightly down. I wouldn't say that because I can't say AJ's not a top guy. I can't.
Are you
Or if
looking
you-
at it mark or objectively?
I'm looking at it objectively too. I can't
Okay.
because honestly, you're gonna tell me that Daniel Bryan right now is a top guy. He literally just came back and had what? 1 win, 2 wins since he came back,
I think Daniel Bryan...
and 1 loss. But
All
the
right,
loss
all
was
right,
needed
so
to for story purposes.
I'll put Daniel Bryan at 3. Because I think he's on his way back to being a top guy.
I mean, yeah, I'll agree that he's a top guy. It's just like right now,
He's
if
not
you're gonna,
the top guy.
Yeah, if you're gonna compare, if you're gonna put Daniel Bryan on the list, I don't see why AJ can't be either.
I'm putting AJ on the list in the top 3.
No, I know. I'm just saying you were quick to put Daniel Bryan on it and not AJ at first.
I'm hesitant. That's all.
I mean-
I'm hesitant with the SmackDown side of things as a whole. I'm being completely honest here. I'm hesitant with the SmackDown side of things as a whole. Because I don't know, like, top guys for SmackDown, yes, but top guys for WWE, that's the bigger picture. That's going to be the end result of this discussion. SmackDown side of things, you can have Samoa Joe, Shinsuke, AJ, Daniel, Miz. You have a lot of guys filling up the main event scene. Top guys, you can put AJ, Shinsuke, Daniel, Miz. But that's just SmackDown. That's the whole problem with this, with the different brands, is that you don't really have like a singular top guy representing the brand. I think it's very difficult to see that.
I feel like Raw is now in a position where they're the ones with the most star power, and SmackDown was built more around the workhorses. The indie.
Well, I think
darlings, if you
that's
will.
always been the case though since the brand split even started. But a problem that I think is not being addressed, and I don't know if that's intentional or not, is, I mean, SmackDown does have a top guy. It's the WWE champion. Regardless of how you feel about his current program right now, he's the champ. He is there day in, day out, having good matches, putting on shows. Regardless of how you feel about the program is, I think, irrelevant. Because that's an objectifying quality on that.
Well, objectifying, you can.
I mean, subjective,
You can look.
not objective.
That's subjective, not objective. Objectively, I don't know if he could draw. I think when you look at SmackDown,
You're telling me right now, if a WWE main event happened right now,
how many casuals, like real casual people, know who
I think the
EJ
fact that
is.
2 year, I feel like if this was 2016 when he debuted, I would agree with you on that. But 2 years,
Look at the names of Daniel Bryan and The Miz. Everyone knows who The Miz and Daniel Bryan are.
they know the Miz now, but Miz has been in obscurity for what 6 years,
I know, but
and then
like,
he just it hasn't been until he won the IC belt last year that his real star power started to
And
really
the
come
Total
out.
Divas, I'm saying Total Bellas. He's marketable.
And then the national spotlight wasn't on Bryan until the start of the S movement.
Exactly, I agree. But that made him show like, yes, he could do a top. That's why I'm saying CM Punk could have been that as well. But they really like screwed him over with that. They didn't screw over Bryan.
I disagree though with the CM
You're
Punk
looking
part.
at it just from
No,
wrestling.
I disagree because
Look at all the past top guys.
no. I agree with you that he wasn't a top guy objectively. This is where we're getting a little mixed up here.
Mhm.
They did partially market him, not the best, because for that 1 year that CM Punk was really on top. You remember in 2012, wrestling was cool for a while,
Oh, I agree.
and it was because of CM Punk.
Yes.
So let's not put this into like the same in categories between AJ and CM Punk. Those are two
Yes,
different things.
AJ was never talked about like that.
not in.
You're seeing my point though, right?
Okay,
I see
I see
he's
your
li-
point. I see your point in that kind of context.
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I'm getting at. Top wrestler, yeah. He's definitely up there. Top 2, if not the best wrestler on there. I agree. I agree with that. Though top guy status, would you really put AJ Styles objectively on the same level as someone like Roman Reigns?
That's a tough question to answer.
Exactly.
Yeah, but not because of.
Would you put him objectively at the same position as someone like John Cena?
Okay, now you have a better question. So no, I can't put him up against
Okay.
John Cena. I can't put him against Roman either because a whole another component to this whole top guy thing is just how everyone feels about him. Not just the people in the back,
Yeah.
not just the people up top, but the fans.
Exactly. I agree. I'm all right because we can establish top guys as Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and John Cena. We could easily say those 3.
Yes.
You know, I'm gonna bring this up as another question before I get to the final top 3 top guys
Mhm.
in WWE. Women. Who do we see as women as being potentially top guys? I see
Charlotte's number
Well,
one.
currently or like just overall? I mean, I'm confused on how you're asking this question.
as draws. As
Currently, like with the current roster of women
Yes.
right now. Okay.
I'm saying Charlotte and I'm saying Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
I see them as the top draws. I see Charlotte as bigger than Samoa Joe, bigger than Shinsuke, bigger than AJ.
I would say Charlotte. Well, no, I would
Flair.
say Charlotte. No,
Flair
I would
has
say,
a name. That's market. That you could put. They've been pushing Charlotte
so
to the
if
moon.
if you go outside to the streets of New York and say, "Hey, do you know who Charlotte Flair is?" to a random person, they'll know Flair.
They'll
thinking
know
Ric
Flair.
They'll know Flair.
Yes. Do you know Charlotte Flair, the daughter of Ric Flair? Yeah, we know Ric Flair and stuff. Oh, I didn't know.
Okay, now you're kind of putting it out.
Well, that's my point though. They've been pushing Charlotte to the moon. They've made her one of the figures.
But no, but I'm saying the way that you
by that same logic, you could walk up to somebody and go, "Hey, you know who Roman Reigns is? He's Dwayne the Rock Johnson's cousin."
And they'd
And
be
it's
like,
"Yeah,
"Who?"
I know who Dwayne the Rock Johnson is."
Yeah,
He's
I
in
know.
that-
So like
he's in
the
that-
way that you
he was in
said
Fast
that,
and
the way that you
Furious.
said that response to the question I'm saying
Okay.
is skewed a bit more,
Okay,
biased.
but I feel like people would still know Charlotte Flair more. Like even before Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, people would recognize Nikki and Brie as like top. As top women, yeah.
I think more Nikki.
Yeah, more Nikki.
Definitely Nikki, but Brie was up there as well.
Well, just because they were all over everything.
Exactly. Charlotte and Ronda have that potential to be.
Well, I think
Charlotte's there.
I think they're already there, to be honest. For just the top women.
I
then I think they're
Charlotte's
already there.
I don't. Ronda's on her way, but Charlotte's definitely there. by
Okay,
now.
could we include them as top guys for WWE as a whole?
It's just that even though the women's evolution is now a thing that they're going to shove down our throats at the end of time, they still don't give the women nearly as much exposure as the men. Like every time, they have to almost pat themselves on the back every time the women main event a show, or they main event a pay-per-view, or they have a stipulation match they've never been in before.
Yeah, like look at this. We put the women's Royal Rumble, the very last one in the card. Good job.
Yeah. Or
You know, we did an anti-bullying campaign. Good,
we're
good job.
we're mad at Saudi Arabia, for not having women on the card. We're gonna have Corey Graves talk shit about it. Good job,
Pat on the back.
That's how I feel like the women are being used as. Look, women have never done this
They're
before. So
they're still being propped up and not really being exposed in a way that was
they're
real
not being
growth.
blended into, like they're not being looked at as wrestlers. Still, they're being looked at as women wrestlers, and they're still being treated as two completely different categories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like if there was a woman to break free into that, I think it would be Ronda because of her mainstream appeal. And because if you think of Stone Cold and Hogan and Rock and Cena,
Even Lesnar to a degree.
even Lesnar, I mean everybody, regardless of how they feel about professional wrestling, know who all four of those names are.
Yeah.
Honestly, tell me who knows Charlotte Flair outside of wrestling. No one.
I see
Who
that.
knows Ronda Rousey outside of
A
wrestling?
lot of people.
Exactly. So I think as a top woman, Charlotte is already there, but still needs to break through to be the real top echelon of memorable wrestlers.
What do you think it would take for Charlotte Flair to break into that mainstream appeal like Cena, Hogan?
Be in a movie. I mean,
That's
be in a
the
movie.
easy answer.
Be in a movie. Be in culture itself. Be in a skit on SNL or something like that.
Main event WrestleMania. That
Really
is-
main event WrestleMania.
Like be the actual go home match and have a great match to end WrestleMania.
Could we see that with Ronda versus Charlotte at Mania this year?
I think it depends on how they're building Ronda. They need to build her in a way
I
that
could definitely see it happening, but there's always that WWE tradition of either Brock/Roman goes on last or the Royal Rumble winner goes on last.
and as
they
soon
need
as
to break that.
they have to break that. And I think that would happen as soon as Vince dials back his control of WWE and Triple H and Stephanie take control.
Yeah.
Another
like,
question then: would Ronda go over on Charlotte?
This is a good chance she would.
There's a good chance.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
But when we saw Charlotte beat Asuka, we see how much Charlotte is backed by WWE management.
You're comparing apples and oranges, though. Asuka and Ronda Rousey are two completely different animals.
I think Ronda would be given the win because she's a big deal outside of WWE.
Yeah, but if Ronda's not up to the level that they could do, I don't know. I could easily also see them just giving Charlotte because they're like, this is the moment that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, but what would you think that Charlotte would start heading into Roman Reigns territory if she beat Ronda Rousey? I think I think you could potentially throw her name into the fire if people are gonna think she's getting shoved down their throats. If she's already beaten Asuka. If she beats Ronda, that would completely push her into the territory of she's getting too much.
But she's also been losing, and it's been like, I don't know. We're starting to see a little bit more human qualities with it. I don't know how to really explain
I think Charlotte is just, you see her as a great athlete, but she's not Roman Reigns in the way that she's forced down our throats. I wouldn't consider her Roman Reigns if she shows up and just talks about, oh, Ronda's not here, or does stuff like that. I don't think she would do that. I think she would lay claims like, I'm the better wrestler.
But I feel like if she beat Ronda, she could be
It has the potential.
tiptoeing on that territory.
I agree, but but this leads to my point. The fact that we're talking about Charlotte and Ronda, they had the potential to be one of the top three, which leads to my last question: who should lead as the top three of WWE? Who should it be? Because you've seen that in the 80s. You had Hogan, you had Piper, and you had Savage. In the Attitude Era, you had Stone Cold, The Rock, and I'm gonna throw Triple H and Undertaker because that it's just
I feel like Undertaker and Triple H would be interchangeable for that.
Yeah.
Early Ruthless Aggression, Triple H, Shawn, and Kurt Angle, Undertaker again, and then you have Batista, Orton, and Cena.
For the late Ruthless
for
Aggression, the Universe
Like
era.
the early PG era,
Yeah. And then we had that weird period where it was still Cena, Orton on top. It was still them. You had people trying to break it. The only one that was closest to breaking it, if not broke through it for a time, was Daniel Bryan. Who should be the three top guys, and who had the capabilities of being those three top guys? I've seen by both management, fans, and even mainstream appeal to an extent.
I still gonna say Roman.
Okay, so Roman's one. I agree with that.
I agree with that too.
I agree.
I think it has to because of
He's so young. You can still salvage it to a point where he gets over with the fans. It's
It's
just gonna
just-
take a lot of work.
it just you have to do something that actually the fans want, and for some reason they're refusing to do that, and I don't know
stick
why.
with it. You know, like even with Roman when he was beating the crap out of everyone, that only lasted for what, a month or two, and then he went right back to being the Golden Boy. You need to have something that people enjoy with him, and you need to stick with it and run with it.
Exactly.
Like, the reason why Undertaker was loved so much was, one, because of his character, and two, was his ability to kick ass. Like, you never saw Undertaker as an underdog.
No.
You never saw Undertaker as someone like, the authority is against me. You just saw him like, alright, y'all are pissing me off.
And even when it was when he was wrestling once a year, you knew he was going to come in, and there's a good chance he's going to win this match and win it handily.
I think they shouldn't book him like Stone Cold. They should not book him like Daniel Bryan. I think they should book him like an Undertaker.
Yeah, I
Like-
think they need to try something different.
I think if you book him like an Undertaker, that would probably be one of the best things to do.
Yes, they need to steer him away from talking for a bit. They need to steer him away from.
Long promos.
They need to steer him away from that because that's not Roman's strong suit. Yes, you can build that.
I think if
Over
the
time.
end game was Paul Heyman turning on Brock and joining Roman, that would add a really interesting layer.
I
to
mean,
Roman's
yeah, then you
character.
can go into how, WWE has pegged him as a babyface. It's your babyface champion, Roman Reigns, and then the boos start coming. But it's a like boo, like, yeah, we like this, and we're gonna boo you because we
Like
like
John
it.
Cena, just because
Exactly,
Just 'cause you were booing you because it's cool.
Yeah.
exactly. Not because we absolutely hate it or anything like that. Well,
Well,
not in your case, Joe, but in me
I
and
feel like
CJ's
if you
case.
get a mouthpiece, for, like I said, if Paul Heyman turned on Brock and joined Roman, that would be interesting.
Even Hulk Hogan had a mouthpiece for a time. Jimmy Hart. You know, until Hogan really came into his own, he had a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Because I mean, The Rock and Austin, they were just, you knew they had the natural talent as talkers from the beginning. Like there was no.
And John Cena, it took time. Like,
Undertaker had Paul Bearer. Even Mankind had Paul Bearer at a time, too.
I think,
And same thing with Kane, because Kane didn't even speak for his first few years in the WWE.
yeah. So I feel if we're gonna build to Roman being the top guy, have him talk less, have him not be an underdog, have him not be, the righteous anti-hero, attacking, the corporation or anything like that. Have him just beat people up whenever he wants.
You can even have him do the whole revenge thing with the authority. Just don't mention, I'm going to fight back the authority. It's like, you guys are pissing me off.
And
I've had it. I'm just gonna beat you up, and
Yeah.
that's literally all you have to do. It's a simple story, and people will love it, even though they know exactly what it's
Like,
gonna
what if he just came on Monday Night Raw and said, you know what? I'm not taking this line down. If Brock's not going to fight me, then I'm going to find a way to get into the Money in the Bank ladder match and just go around and start beating the hell out of everyone.
You can even have him beat a Money in the Bank qualifiers.
be. Exactly.
Have him. Nah, not Rusev. That one get him over.
No.
Who's
Damn it! Don't do that to Rusev.
But I'm just saying.
Miz, like even if he just beats, even if it doesn't take Miz out of the match, just like goes after Miz and just like I
Yeah.
don't know. Because right now the guys in the Money in the Bank are all incredibly over.
I think it's like if it's somehow Chad Gable or Jason Jordan or
If it's Jason Jordan, you have him destroy Jason Jordan.
Oh, that'll
Um,
get him sheared.
have him do that.
Have
That'd
Jason
be great.
Jordan
Oh my God.
continuously do the whole Kurt Angle thing. And be
I'm
like, just
now in-
shut up.
I'd be like, I'm now in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and I can't wait to thank my dad for done it, and then
Shut up!
Just
No,
destroys him.
another thing. If he's going to attack Jason, let's say for instance that does happen. The music doesn't happen. He just comes out of the crowd and spears him, and then he'd be like, "I'm gonna take your spot. You're
Yes.
done." That would be so much better.
Yes.
Or like,
Okay.
if you have him go after Brock, don't say, "Oh, Roman Reigns isn't here. I wonder if he's gonna show up." Just have Brock come out and cut a promo. We haven't seen Roman all night, and Roman just comes flying through the crowd and literally just lays into Brock. Have him come out on top on Brock for once.
Yes. Have him leave Brock bleeding. I think that would do well.
Like, remember the Brock Triple H feud leading into WrestleMania, where Triple H sent Brock's head flying in the hose and it busted Brock open hard way bad.
Yes.
That image made Triple H look like a damn badass.
Okay. So we have Roman Reigns. Who else can we make a top guy?
I feel like it's gonna have to take time for Daniel Bryan to get to where he should really be
Yes.
as the top guy. So, I mean, if we're gonna break down how that's gonna happen, I think we've talked about this plenty.
Daniel
of times.
Bryan has to win the Rumble. He has to
beat the Miz.
beat the
He has
Miz.
to beat
He
The
has to
Miz.
beat the Miz for the WWE Championship.
And he
The Miz has
prove
to
he's healthy.
cost Daniel Bryan that championship.
Yes,
And then Bryan has to win the Rumble.
And Bryan
Yes.
has to prove he's healthy.
He does.
He has to prove that he's healthy. The concussions, aren't a problem as long as he works.
The arm's fine.
Yeah, the arm is fine. Everything is good. I can handle a pretty much full-time schedule, and I can still fight. I can still have a match generally on par to what I used to have.
Yes.
Exactly.
I feel like Daniel Bryan has the potential to be another top guy in WWE. The third, I'm going to have to put it to Charlotte. You know
Okay.
why? Because you don't know what the Ronda thing's going to work.
That's true.
That's the biggest thing that I'm worried about. That Ronda's so early in her career that you don't know how it's going to be. Ronda is green. She is the star power. But does she have the wrestling ability,
Or the promo ability.
the promo ability, and does she have the commitment?
Okay.
Does she-
I see your point with the commitment.
Because she could just be like a Rock back in 2002, but just
that's true. That's how
I- I think Charlotte has the potential to be the first top guy who's
a woman.
representing the women's division.
I agree with you on that.
You could have made the argument that Trish Stratus and Lita, they were definitely women.
They
top,
were
but
they were there, but
they-
after they were done wrestling, the women really took a slide down the rungs.
Yeah.
Charlotte brought it back. She brought it to
Well, that was the 4 horsewomen, really.
The
yes.
3 of the 4 horsewomen, the Bellas and what is it? Alicia, like that whole gang, regardless of how you feel about Alicia Fox, Naomi, and Tamina at the time. I mean, all 9 of those women really brought that to the limelight.
I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than we had like Dawn Marie and Stacy Keibler headlining the division.
And Jillian.
Oh, God, Jillian,
yeah.
Jackie Gata, Ashley Massaro.
So, could we be in agreement with that? That could be the 3 that really pushed WWE into the new, into back to mainstream appeal.
They just need to stop treating the women's division like something that's a resume fluffer and just let it flow into everything else.
I think they're starting to take away from that. I think they are.
It's going in that direction.
I think it really is.
But like they can't keep using each. It's not like everything the women did was a new accomplishment.
Okay, I agree. I think that they did everything to now that where they really can't say the first time ever until it's a WrestleMania main event. Then you have to say, "Yo, this is the first time ever,"
Or an all women's pay per view.
or an all women's pay-per-view.
Like for example, in the NHL, the brand new team, the Vegas Golden Knights, they made the playoffs and everything. You can't say now next year they're gonna flow into everything else. They're gonna be just like everybody else. There's nothing special about them. Do it if you're gonna if you're exactly what you're saying, CJ. If you're just getting all that stuff out of the way now, this is the first this is the first that, just to get it out of the way, and then finally just have them kind of flow into the fabric of the rest of the company and not be treated like their own separate thing, then I think it could work.
Yeah, because I think that now they're just like, "Oh, the women's Money in the Bank qualifiers." They'll go, "Oh,
The women's Royal Rumble match.
women
The
for Survivor
Women's
Series,
Battle
we
Royal.
have the 4 horsewomen taking on the 4 horsewomen. Can't miss."
All women's elimination chamber. Nothing really looks.
It won't be the first. Yeah, I see the stigma of like the first ever has really put a dampening on that. So,
But it hasn't decreased the quality or the hype.
no, it hasn't. No, but it definitely brings a certain stigma that
They
gives
need-
that perception.
This Money
to
in the
fans.
Bank match has to go really well because I feel like people still have a bad taste in their mouths considering the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match ended with Ellsworth.
Yeah,
Down
there's
the
no
briefcase.
point. There's no way Ellsworth is coming back.
There's no way.
Well-
and if Ellsworth comes back to do it fucking again, I swear to God.
Well, it has to be whatever happens. It has to be a good match, and it has to be something that just happens naturally. Like
So-
there can't be any disjointed thing where someone runs in or just have someone win the briefcase legit, no question marks, no asterisks, just straight up. Ember Moon won the Money in the Bank briefcase, and she has it now, and that's it. There's no, oh well, technically, she didn't grab the briefcase. No, just straight up give someone the briefcase and let her run with it.
I agree.
And don't let her wait 7 months to cash it in, where everyone forgets that she's goddamn Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but I think we can all be in agreement that these 3 could be the ones that could be the top guys in WWE.
Yeah, I agree.
Daniel Bryan, Roman, and Charlotte.
Yeah, but certain things have to go because as of right now, I don't qualify Daniel Bryan until certain things fall into place.
I understand that, but I don't think AJ Styles can reach that echelon.
No, I know.
I view him like a Seth Rollins.
No, I know that. I'm just saying. like even for all of them, I can qualify Charlotte being more of a top person than either Roman Reigns or Daniel Bryan at this point, just because of how things are going. They have to do the right thing booking wise
Yes.
in order to satisfy that. I don't know how you would describe it, but I guess need of the top guys in a company to really be leaders and, really spreading
Put them on the
WWE.
posters.
Yeah.
Put them like this
Like, you're going to see that poster and be like, I'm going to go watch. I'm going to go buy a ticket to.
because Charlotte's there.
I'm
because
going to go buy a
Roman's
ticket
there.
because Roman's there. I'm going to
Daniel
go
Bryan.
for Daniel Bryan. Exactly.
I know I bought a ticket for Road to WrestleMania in 2016 because I saw Daniel Bryan on the card. He retired, but he's like, oh, Daniel Bryan's going to make an appearance. I was like, yes, this is going to be great. I get to see Daniel Bryan. I think Daniel Bryan still has that. He just has to prove it that he still has it. He has to prove it to everyone.
The problem with AJ, and I think people don't realize this because of how new relatively he is, he's going to turn 41.
That's
in
another
June.
thing, his age.
He's a young guy by WWE standards because he's been around that long, but he's already got a lot of miles on him from Japan and Ring of Honor and Impact. So, I mean, he also turns 41, ironically, the day before my birthday. He's born on June 2nd. I was born on June 3rd. So, technically, we're 12 hours apart.
Yeah. So that's another thing you got to consider, too. And Daniel Bryan's, 35, 36? If I remember correctly?
I think it's in that range.
Yeah, it's like 36,
So he
I
only
think.
has maybe 6-7 years left.
Assuming he stays healthy.
Assuming he stays healthy, because, I mean, say what you want about
He's
AJ
he's
and
36.
yeah, I mean, say what you want about
He
AJ's
turns 37 in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So, but say what you want about AJ's age. I mean, Daniel Bryan has already gone through probably some of the worst injuries a wrestler could go through.
Yeah. But you
And came
could
out on top. I mean,
Yes.
from a point that we didn't think that was going to happen. Like, if he didn't come back this year, we wouldn't be having this conversation about
No,
Daniel
we would
Bryan.
not.
And let's say that didn't happen. Who would you say the top guy would have been?
If not Daniel Bryan,
Yeah, if not Daniel Bryan.
Seth Rollins.
Okay.
I would say Seth Rollins definitely has it because he has a lot of moments. He's very talked about, and he has that indie background. I think Seth Rollins has that potential, and he's also very young too.
All right.
But yeah, and
Alright.
Seth Rollins has been the best part of Raw since he
For
won-
a while now. Like,
yes, since the Gauntlet, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Does Big Cass have the potential
No,
to get there?
No.
I
Not
think
without Enzo. Not
he's
without
like,
Enzo.
he's like a Kane or a Big Show. Like definitely someone you could throw into the main event scene, but I don't see him as like the guy. Same with Baron Corbin. Even
Baron Corbin, I don't even think has the potential to be like anywhere near.
He's not
that
even
guy.
the middle guy yet.
Braun, I feel like the closest one of like the big men would be Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Objectively speaking, yes. I don't like the idea, though.
Because they know what works with Braun.
Yes.
If they had Roman more like Braun, where he really doesn't say a whole lot and just destroys people, people would like Roman more.
Oh yeah. I agree.
That's how Braun got over. He said about 3 words a night. He threw objects around and he put people through them.
And now he's a catchphrase.
So I mean, you don't have to have Roman go around saying you're gonna get these hands, but just have him be a guy that doesn't talk a whole lot, that has these weird, gimmick weapons matches where he throws pianos on people and just have it something people can have fun with, but at the same time he's still kicking ass.
Yes. So, what'd you guys think? Great topic, right?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I think we had a lot of back and forth. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
So, ending result, guys, more than likely that our top 3 would be Roman, Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Charlotte Flair. If you guys disagree, if you guys feel like there's others that could take those spots, let us know. Till next time, Audio Marks. Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Continue supporting us by rating and subscribing through Patreon, Audio Boom, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play Music, and Apple Podcasts at Marks for Life Podcast. And now, check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life, for our podcast playlist and other content. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram at Marks for Life Podcast, our Tumblr page, Marks for Life Podcast, and our Facebook page, Marks for Life Podcast. And email us at marksforlifepodcast@gmail.com for any questions, comments, or feedback. Until next time, Audio Marks.